that slide on?
Yeah, it's preparing to live stream. Just
okay. Let's stay on mute.
all right. I'm starting. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 2 of Flight Launch, a flight-based venture created exclusively to showcase brand new products coming straight out of the oven. So while you turn off that whistling kettle or pour your French press, I'll quickly run by a few housekeeping rules. Feel free to ask questions anytime during the presentation by simply typing them in the Q&A section. Some polls coming up shortly. Your participation would mean a lot to us. Flight Launch is being recorded and we will publish it online soon, just in case your friends and colleagues are unable to attend it today. In case you're facing bandwidth issues here, we are also streaming the event live on YouTube. The link is coming up on the chat box. We have created a Slack community for everyone to interact and network. Feel free to hop in and communicate with your peers from the drone industry. To join the Slack channel, you can use the link that's coming up on the chat box. I'm your host, Vaishali, and I'll just quickly start by introducing our keynote speaker, Nitin Gupta. Nitin is the founder and CEO of Flightbase Inc. He is a graduate from IIT Bombay and received his master's in aerospace engineering from the University of Maryland, College Park, USA. He has over 15 years of experience in the automation and aerial robotics industry and has been an invited speaker at various drone industry forums, including AUASI Exponential, Interdrone, and the Commercial UAV Expo. Nitin founded Flightbase about 4 years ago to build intelligent software products for automated commercial drones. Flightbase is now a team of experts in automation, software engineering, design, and AI. The company has won a number of recognitions for its innovation and world-class products, including the Grand Champion Award at the NTT Data's Global Innovation Contest in 2019. Flightbase's products are used by over 13,000 users across 125 plus countries. Welcome, Nitin. Over to you.
Thanks so much, Vaishali. Hello, everyone. It is great to be here and to be a part of history in the making. As many of you know, Flightbase has been building products and technologies to help deploy fully automated drones at scale. One of the critical components of such automation is the drone nest or the drone docking station. This is not a new concept. The drone nests have been around for at least 3 to 4 years. When you think about it, it is such a no-brainer. We need these drone nests for so many routine applications, such as security patrols, aerial monitoring, inspections, and incident response. So why are these not as popular as they should be? The problem is the complexity of these docking stations. Most systems use several complex mechanisms to correctly position the drone on the landing pad for charging, or a robotic arm to swap batteries, or a moving platform that goes up and down. All this complexity not only reduces the reliability of the system, but also makes them extremely expensive. You would be aware of various drone-in-a-box solutions that are sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars. What we are about to witness today is a radically different approach to drone nest design. Our friends at iDrone Images have designed a fresh, novel drone nest with simplicity at the core of their design. They have done a number of iterations, not to add more components, but to remove everything that could be removed, thereby significantly improving the reliability of the system and making it the most affordable, fully featured drone nest on the market. Now, without spoiling your surprise, let me tell you that what you are about to see is something that is unprecedented in the drone automation market. And we are just so excited to finally bring this to our customers and partners who have been asking us for this for such a long time. So thank you so much for joining us, and get ready to get surprised.
Thank you, Nitin, for sharing this information with us. It is now time for us to run the first poll of the evening. Let me just launch it. Yes, so audience, it's up on the screen right now. We would just want to better understand the audience that we have today. Are most of you from the drone service provider? Do you provide these services to external clients? And what is the major commercial application that you're currently deploying the drones for? Is it security and surveillance? Are you using it for emergency response and public safety, or to inspect assets, or for agriculture and aerial surveys? So let us know what commercial application you're using it for. And in case you're using it for any other applications that are not mentioned in the list, you can just quickly type that in the chat box below, and it'll give us an insight or understanding as to what the current drone industry is up to. Yes. I will just wait for a couple of seconds before I end the poll. Thank you again for sharing this information. So I'll just quickly share the results. Yes, our audience today do provide drone service to the external clients. Majority of them do. And the primary application that people use drones for, or automation technology for, is security and surveillance. So this has been one of the key applications which people are using. And I would love to know what other applications you're also using drones for. Please share them in the chat box. Thank you, everyone. I'll now move on to introducing Peter, the founder and CEO of iDrone Images, the company behind the amazing IDIPLOYER MP2.1 that we are going to launch today. Peter, would like to personally welcome you all. So over to you, Peter.
Yes, thank you so much, Vaishali, and thank you, Nitin, for your introduction. It's been an exciting 4 years for us, really. Starting our UAV sort of career and experience 4 years ago, where we began with remote piloting in the UK. So surveys, inspections, 3D modeling, working in the telecoms industry and the construction industry, and building up a huge client base over that time. And it was during that sort of the last 12 months where clients really started talking to us about automation. How can we simplify things and how can we automate what you do? And that got us thinking about automation, drone nests, and how we as a business can integrate that into our own business to supply them to our clients. So, COVID-19 for us, work slowed down as it did with probably most people in the industry. But we took that time to research and investigate every system out there in the market and tearing them systems down into how can we make that simple and how can we produce a cost-effective, affordable solution for many industries across the world. So there's a little snippet about what we've done and how we've got here today. I'll hand back over to you, Basali.
Vaishali, you need to unmute.
Yes, sorry. I'm so sorry. Thank you again, Peter, for the introduction. We are all very excited to learn about the product. But before we do that, I would want to quickly introduce Achal, the Director of Business Development at Flightbase, who will take us through the software components that come pre-integrated with the iDeployer. With over 5 years of experience in the drone industry and a part of the leadership team at Flightbase, Achal has been actively working with several customers across the globe to provide autonomous drone-based solutions for various applications. So welcome, Achal.
Thank you, Vaishali. Hi, everyone.
Now that all the introductions have been done, I would like to show you a quick glimpse of what we are going to demonstrate today. That just looks beautiful, does it not? Well, without waiting any further, I'll pass the mic over to you, Peter. There is so much hype and intrigue around the design of the box, so I'll jump right in. Could you tell us how it all started? How did you decide to build iDeployer?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Basali. So as I mentioned in the introduction, a lot of our clients in the UAV industry spoke to us about automation and how they can integrate them into their business. And there's various systems out there on the market already. When I presented these systems to them clients, they were just not affordable. And there were some barriers as well to entry into them systems. So the complexity around some of the robotics, the complexity of the engineering wasn't simple for them to operate. And there was no software that was seamlessly integrated into them systems. So we listened to all of them barriers and we put our heads together and created one simple solution. So over the 18 months, we've been researching, developing and testing over and over again to get it to the right solution we have today. And that's why we're here today to present the finished solution for you.
That sounds really exciting, Peter. Why don't we have a look into the journey of iDeployer MP2.1?
Yeah, so these slides are just going to show you a bit about our journey. So it all began 18 months ago, and it began in our conservatory where myself and my partners looked at all the systems that are already out there. And we started off with a very small scale 3D model, cardboard created, moving on to a metal structure, and then testing all the electronics that we could possibly test to get it to the finished product. You can see from these images, there's so much complexity involved, and without engineering experience, we had to learn everything as we went along, including the coding of the systems. So our mission was to create a system, have the right software, and create the right support for you to integrate these into your business. And that journey has been happening since March 2020, where it all began. we've had this mission of making things simpler, better, and cheaper, and everything we do is about you as the end user being able to have an affordable solution. Taking us through to May, we were then tearing down the product to really understand and get to the nitty-gritty of what we can do to make it a simple process for you. We built full-scale models. We built smaller models. We took it outside for testing. And then when we met up with Flightbase, knitting that sort of connection together with the software brought us to the end product that we have today that is affordable. And you're going to find out more about how affordable it is later on in the program.
Thank you, Peter, for sharing the journey with us. Simplicity is the prerequisite to reliability. This quote from Dijkstra has become a common knowledge, both in the software and hardware engineering. Yet we often come across systems that are way too complex or over-engineered. So Peter, when I look back at our previous conversations, you always highlighted the importance of why the box needs to be simple. No complex robotics, such as centering bars or movable arms. How is it possible to make a complex automation technology so simple?
It's a really good quote. And throughout this whole process from day one, we live and breathe simplicity. If it is not simple, and if it's not better, and it's not cheaper for our customers, we just don't do it. When we began our research into the industry, as I touched on earlier, there were some really impressive robotics and some really impressive systems. Large boxes opening up, almost like a big show. But we just wanted to tear that down and simplify it. And we wanted to ask ourselves, how can we get the same result, taking all of that away? And we've done that with some simple movements within our box, and we've done that with developing the software with you guys to get that precision landing nailed down. We've not done this blindly. We're speaking to and keeping in touch with experts along the way within the industry and within the engineering industry, just to touch base that what we were doing is the right thing, and it absolutely is. And we're going to present that solution to you today.
Thank you, Peter. That is a perfect example of how simple design thinking can lead to an elegant product. So Peter, this would essentially mean that the box would weigh significantly lesser than most of the complex drone-in-a-box solutions that are currently available in the market. Is that correct?
Yes, absolutely. So the box itself weighs 27 kilograms, so much lighter than what's out there at the moment. How we've managed to do that is we've built a simple frame structure, and we've then included aluminium composite framing for the box. Again, this is a simple approach for us. It's simple to build, it's simple to scale, and it just allows us to adjust the dimensions of the system as our customers request new drones and new charging methods in the future. So yes, it's lightweight, but very strong and sort of adjustable for the future.
But like you mentioned, 27 kgs is really lightweight. Would it be durable as well? We all know that the box is made in the UK. Can it also take its heavy rains?
Yeah, so we've definitely experienced that recently. We built it with IP66 rating in mind. Now, we've completed all of the robust testing and we've built it to that standard. And I can say the same for the CE testing and the electronics testing. Every component we've introduced has been tested. Getting our full package tested over COVID-19 is a huge challenge, but the system's in the queue and it's due to be tested over the next few weeks. But we're confident with our expertise and our industry experts that have advised us along the way that this system is high IP rating and will be CE certified.
That sounds great. But what about the extremely hot and cold climates? How do you regulate the internal temperatures then? Yeah,
sure. So I'm in the UK. We don't experience that really cold or really hot climates. So we've insulated the box. So it comes as standard insulated. We then have add-ons with our system, so you can add on extreme weather sort of packages where we have heaters and Peltier coolers into our systems. So they're all integratable as and when the customers or clients request them throughout the buying process.
This would definitely help buyers who are planning to deploy the system in extreme environments. Going back to the lightweight design, how would you tackle theft? The box is so light that anybody would be able to simply pick it up and run away with it.
Yes, absolutely. When we were testing the system and we took it to a construction client, that was one of their key questions. We're using this system as security. What if someone takes the system? So we looked at that in detail, how we could, secure the unit. So on the underside of our box, we've got various bolting connections, so they can be securely bolted to the ground, to a roof, or to a vehicle. So these systems, these sort of security and safety measures are all there. But again, as we go along and as we work with different clients around the world, if there's different solutions that are better, we can adapt them into our systems. In terms of the box itself, the drawer mechanism has electromagnets for locking, which also aids our positioning. But we also have latches that lock the drawer. So if there's a power cut or there's no power to the box, it will remain locked. As for the rear of the box, where we have all the components, so you can do any maintenance or adjust into the systems, we have 2 key locks to the rear of the box. Again, we can secure that to any customer client requests along the way. But yes, it's I'd like to say it's a secure system.
I think that would address the concern of our audience. Also, Peter, in this image, as we speak, we can see a lot of red, orange lights and antennas on the box. Could you let the audience know what they are for?
Yeah, sure. So there's a number of reasons why we went with audio visual sort of features for the box. So throughout the process, we've stayed really close to the Civil Aviation Authority in the UK and industry leaders and clients who may be the end users for our systems. And what was really clear is that as the drone is taking off and landing, we need to have that visual impact of stand clear, this drone is taking off. And this really does heighten the mitigations in your risk assessments when you're requesting for regulations and permissions to use these systems. We can add different methods of lighting to the system, so that all our LEDs are writable. So if you would like to change the sequence or change the color of the lighting, we can make that adaptation. In terms of audio, again, that's an add-on feature that we can add onto the system, where it will send out an audio message that the drone is taking off. Now, towards the back of the box, as you can see in this image, we have a number of antennas. So the remote control for the UAV is situated inside the box because we use that to control the flight of the drone. So obviously, with it being contained in a box, you lose a lot of the signal from the RC. So we've extended the antennas out to the outside of the box, and that just ensures that the flight's always safe because it's getting a great signal. And the center antenna is for LTE 4G. So we've integrated that sort of LTE and 4G system, so we've got great connectivity with the box. But you can also connect it with Ethernet as well. So it's got various connectivity routes.
Thank you, Peter, again for addressing that. Now that the exterior design has been addressed, let's move on to the device compatibility. As we are all aware, the IDIPLOYER supports the DJI Mavic series. So why did you choose the DJI Mavic? And do you support any other drone models as of today?
Sure, yeah. So, I mean, it was a personal choice at the very beginning of this process to use a small, compact system. Now, we've used Mavic 2 Pros for 3.5, 4 years now, for surveying, for inspections, for 3D modeling. And there's probably many of you out there that use these systems. They are very capable. So we wanted to use a drone that is 1, capable, 2, lightweight, and 3, that is feature packed and has good, strong reliability within the industry. And that's not to say we're stuck with this system, because we're not. We're already working on non-DJI platforms. So the Parrot, for example, is a drone that we're looking at integrating into our boxes. But in the future, if there's other drone manufacturers who have a system that is compatible with our system, then we can integrate them as well. And we'd love to partner with people who want to do that. The key feature of our design is that we can adapt it to so many different drones. We're not stuck with the Mavic 2 series. So as new drones come to the market, we're there to be really quick to make that integration.
Glad to hear that users will have more options in the future, Peter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now on to what we think is the most important feature, the self-charging capability of the drone. Would you like to elaborate on how that works?
Sure. So, over the 18 months, a really key part of the integration for us was the charging. And we wanted to make it as safe as possible. So we investigated and researched lots of different charging methods out there. But we wanted to ensure that the charging method is number one, safe, and two, we don't do any modifications to the battery cells itself. And so we've designed a contact plate approach. Coupled with the software precision landing, we can accurately place the drone on the landing platform. So when the drone, the drawer closes, the drone is positioned accurately onto these contact pins. So we have 4 contacts at the rear of the drone and 2 at the front. And that matches the landing platform. So we have 2 to ensure we get a negative and positive charge to the battery. And then we have the 2 contacts at the front so we can communicate with the battery and the drone to tell it what we need it to do during that process.
You mentioned about the contact pins on the drone for the battery charge. So what happens if the drone lands on a conductive surface?
Yeah, so that was a key part of our testing, particularly when we're speaking to clients around warehousing. So it was really important that should in the really remote off chance that this drone lands on a metal surface or into a puddle or conductive roof, that nothing should happen to the batteries, because we've got them sort of contacts under the drone's feet. There is that risk. So what we've done, we've added short protection into the legs itself. So they're just attached to the modifications we've made. Really simple device to stop any current going back down to the drone's feet. So there is no risk of conductivity.
Does the charging module require any modifications to the cell of the drone battery?
No, so I mean, a lot of the systems we investigated and we researched did some modifications to the battery, and we wanted to avoid that because the safety of the flights is absolutely paramount to us, and I'm sure it is to our viewers too. So we don't do any modification to the battery cells, absolutely none. It charges through its normal charging process and its normal charger that's integrated into our systems. The only slight modification we do is to the battery switch, so we can turn it on and off remotely and trigger the charge on and off. That's the only modification we've done. There's absolutely none to the charging cells.
But would this, the kit, which is for minor drone modifications, would this increase the weight of the drone significantly?
No, they're all very, very lightweight. Under 2 grams is the total modification we've done to the UAV, and they're all very simple modifications. They can they'll be done by anybody. Quite simple to do. And we've created them so they can just be added and taken away or replaced if they break, or very simple modifications.
All right, that sounds like a negligible amount. We now move on to talk about the landing. So how do you ensure that the drone lands on the box every time?
So we've integrated FlightNow's software precision landing module that's designed for the Mavic 2 drone. It's very reliable and it is centimeter accurate. We've done hundreds of flight test landings and we've achieved accurate landing on every single one. Where we've had any deviation from that accuracy, it's due to a freak gust of wind or something's gone wrong. But we've got roller bars on the outside of our box, and with our drawer closing, positions it back to its center position. So there is absolutely minimal risk of it not landing in that accurate position. It's been a fantastic integration, and one we've worked really closely with Flightbase to nail down that true accuracy.
That's brilliant, Peter. To help the audience understand the precision landing module better, I'd like to turn the cameras to Achal. So Achal, could you tell us or tell the audience how the precision landing works? We do have a video if you would want to play and maybe speak to the audience.
Sure. So we'll play the video, but again, the whole importance here is the system would be of no use, or it would be a deal breaker if the drone does not land every time on the docking station. So the precision landing provided by FlightNow ensures that the drone is landing with the correct yaw position every time with a centimeter level accuracy on the docking station. And it has been built with various fail safes. So what happens if we lose the tag? What happens if there's a gust of wind? So a lot of fail safes have been built in where it can again recover and precisely land, or in case of fail safes, go and land on an emergency location. So we'll have a quick video here to show you how what it looks like and how does it land. So if you can just play the video. So in this video, you see that drone has reached the home spot and it was in different yaw position. So it's correcting the yaw and it's looking at the ground markers to precisely land on the docking station. We'll obviously look at more demo videos along the complete event, but particularly talking about this is how it could quickly align and precisely land the drone into the box. And you can see this is the reason where the complete compact design of docking station is made possible, because it could land with that centimeter level accuracy. Yeah, so that's about the precision landing.
Thanks, Achal. Before we get back to you to discuss more, Peter, are there any additional features that you want to reveal and talk about?
Yeah, so we have a number of add-ons for our systems. So we wanted to provide a really affordable system. And when we're speaking to clients, there's some things that they just didn't need, and some things that customers may need in the future. So there's 4 really key add-ons that we've made. One is the extreme temperature controlling, adding a weather station for increased risk and safety, and bespoke customer branding. So we offer sort of standard branding, your own branding onto the box already. So a small logo either side, but we can do complete wrapping of the box to your own branding if you send us that information. And also external CCTV. So some of the sort of civil aviation authorities around the world have different policies around how you view semi-autonomous systems. And having external CCTV was one key thing that some clients requested. So we have an on-pole sort of dome camera that can have a view of the environment around the box and view the takeoff and landing. So they're just some of the 4 sort of key features we have.
Thanks again, Peter. These features really put the IDIPLOYER ahead of the curve. One thing that our audience would be curious about, especially since quite a few of them would have witnessed the launch of the Hextronics Global last week. In what way do you think the MP2.1 stands out when compared to the other docking stations? Yeah,
sure. So, I mean, we do look at competitors and we wanted to understand what they did. And taking away some of that robotics and over-engineering in some examples, not necessarily Hextronics, but we just found that most of our clients throughout our research, their average flight time requirement was about 24 minutes, and that can be achieved within 1 battery life. And what we felt was by the time the drone has landed back in the docking station, uploaded the data that's already collected, and recharged again, it can be ready to go out on another mission. Our charge times between 40, 45 and 50 minutes, the standard charge time of a Mavic 2 smart battery. But that's not to say that during the charge process you can't still complete a mission. If the battery's sufficient enough to complete another mission, then you can still do that, and it will just continue its charge when it returns back to the docking station. We've avoided the robotics and the battery swapping, one, because our clients told us they don't necessarily need it, but they may do in the future. But at the moment, we want to deliver an affordable solution to the market. So taking away some of that robotics and the expense around building that robotics and installing it offers that system to you very quickly.
Yes, and I also guess the maintenance would reduce quite a bit, considering that no complex robotics is involved. Maybe now you would like to share or shine the spotlight on the box and show us what we are all gathered here for.
Yeah, sure. So I'll just switch over to my mobile device and I'll be with you.
We are all very excited to watch.
Yes. So can you see the box?
Yes, we can, Peter. Yes.
Yeah, so I just wanted to, show you some of the system sort of live, because it's really nice to sort of touch and feel and see the actual system. So at the back of the box here, we have our sort of power on system. So we have the isolation switch, and then you have your power on for the actual box mechanics, and then we have a separate charge function isolation too. We're not shy to show you what's going on inside. This is our the complexity and the sort of the experience that's gone into building this system. So over in the corner here, we have the remote control. What's different with our system compared to others is that you can remotely switch on the remote. So there is, once the box is switched on, you can switch on the remote from anywhere in our dashboard. So there is no need for somebody to physically, if the power goes off and on again, to come back and switch the RC on. We can do that remotely. We tried, like I said, we kept it all very simple, although it looks complex. We have removed a significant amount of sort of electronics to just keep this nice and compact for you. So that's all contained in the rear of the box. We've already experienced the antennas and the lights that we have on the system, but you can see inside where we've got the silver lining. This is the insulation for the box. We have installed the fans either side of the box, so we have a fan in and fan out, and that just aids the cooling of the drone. But we have moved some of that sort of system to the underside of the box rather than the side. It just helps us with the IP rating in the future. And then spinning it round, you'll see the sort of inside of our landing process. So you'll probably see on the video later that we use these sort of simple rollers on the side of the box here. So they use the prop guards for positioning. So if the drone lands slightly to the left or right, the prop guards hit the rollers and just slide it nice and quickly and accurately onto the contact plates. So really simple, and this is what we're talking about with robotics. First, 6 months ago, we shared with Nitin our box, and it had lots of complex movements and mechanics that were moving the drone into position. He challenged us to see how do we remove that and can it make it even more simple, Peter? And that's what we did. And it really does work and it's very effective. So that's a little insight to the box, Vasali.
Sorry again, I'm on mute. Thank you again, Peter, for this wonderful walkthrough. Now that we have all seen the IDIPLOYER Now that we've all seen the IDIPLOYER super light hardware and its various features, it's time to dive into the software that comes pre-integrated with the complete hardware. But before we move on to that, I would want to ask a quick question for our audience. We have a quick poll that I would like to bring back. Yes. So we are wanting to understand from our audience today as to what is the major roadblock that they are facing when it comes to adopting a docking station. And this would help us understand. We've been trying to conduct these launch events and understand that what is the major problem or challenge that users are facing when they are wanting to adopt the docking station, so that we can address them better. I would just hold on for another 10 seconds or so before I close the poll. And I'll just end it right now and share the results with everyone. So yes, the major roadblock that most of the audience has mentioned is with regards to the pricing. And this is something that we did expect, and we do understand that pricing is one of the major concerns when it comes to adopting a complete autonomous drone-based solution. A lot of our audience has also mentioned all of the above, which includes right from the regulatory challenges to the lead time for the delivery of the docking station, as well as pricing. So we hope we'll be able to address all of these concerns today. And I'll just quickly stop sharing my screen, and we'll move on to Achal now. So Achal, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Vaishali. Hi, everyone. This is Achal. Great to see you all here. This is the bit, as Vaishali said, about the software. Right. So drone in the box would not be help automate drones. It could also help you automate your complete business workflows. So it could help you completely automate your flows from collecting the data, doing repeatable missions, as well as scaling the complete drone operation, which was very expensive when you had human in the loop. So all of this requires an advanced software platform, which can help you deploy these systems for various use cases. So be it security, first response, construction, mining, and the list goes on. This is where FlightNow Auto, which is a drone automation software platform, has been designed exclusively for scalability as well as keeping safety and reliability in mind. So all packaged in an easy to use interface where you can plan missions, you can plan linear or waypoint mission. You can also do grid missions for various survey mapping applications. You could schedule those on calendar. So you have a complete calendar view for scheduling the mission, be it your morning check, afternoon check, and you can schedule it on a repeated way. All of this would require your own SOPs where you could have your standard operating procedures. So you can create your pre-flight checklist and you can implement that right there in the dashboard. As you're flying the drone, obviously you like to capture the data. You are flying the drones to collect that aerial data and automatically feed into your system. And that is where FlightNow allows you to capture live video feed in HD quality, both on the cloud and directly on the SD card of the drone, which can be retrieved later to the automated workflow and stored on the cloud for further processing. So be it you wish to create auto maps, you wish to do 3D modeling, or you wish to use AI to detect objects, all of that is now possible. You can also integrate various sensors and cameras like thermal cameras for night vision. So Mavic 2 Enterprise Dual already comes with that, where you can easily get thermal video feed right on the screen with all the functions that you currently have on your mobile apps on the remote dashboard. Similarly, we have integrated all the payloads which are possible with the drones. So be broadcasting the audio message. Now, this is very critical for security as well as first response kind of application. So DJI Enterprise Dual, again, with a loudspeaker provides you capability to broadcast a message, and we have integrated that with FlightNow Auto platform. So you can record your message and broadcast that video feed. Of course, you can also integrate your spotlight or beacon with the drone. And all of these things can be recorded in archive where you can save it on your private cloud on a secure storage and retrieve it or see the complete logs. Great. So This is a quick about our Flight Now Auto platform, which brings autonomy to these off-the-shelf drones, as well as custom drones, and provides an intuitive cloud-based interface to manage a fleet of drones and docking stations. It also provides integration with third-party services. So if you're looking to integrate with any VMS, or you need airspace data with the UTMs, or you need to integrate with a mapping software, all of that is possible. So the Flight Now will enable you to automate the complete workflow for your data collection, as well as help you conduct repeatable missions with ease with the docking stations. So that's it from my side. Thank you.
Yes, so moving on to the video that shows or demonstrates the complete product working. So right from the software as well as the hardware. So Peter, I would like to, I would ask you to quickly walk us through this video.
Sure, thanks, Masali. Yeah, so what we've shown you is a really quick short video of the mission and what happens during the mission process. So once you've done your pre-flight checklists, as Charles just gone through, what happens next? So the drone, once you've triggered the drone mission, the box will open and it will then begin its flight. So you can see here where the drone has taken off for its mission, and it then goes on its predefined waypoints. So you can set them waypoints or multiple waypoints within the mission planner. You can then set at each waypoint what you would like the drone to do, whether to start recording, whether to take an image. And then once it's finished its mission and it's ready to return to home, we can then automate that whole process. So with a click of a button from the start, it knows what to do at the end. So this was a one button click and it knew what flight path or waypoint to go on. It then returned through the precision land sort of module. And you can see here, this was a really windy day. So it was gusting at 30 miles an hour. So yes, we were slightly behind a tree line, but it did cope very well, even with the prop guards on. It wasn't quite as central as a precision land because of that gusting wind, but this is a really good example where you can see that it nudges, the rollers nudge the drone back to the left into the correct position before closing and starting its charge. Thanks, Masali.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you for giving us, walking us through this quick video, demo video. Before we move on to addressing the most awaited question of the day, the price of the entire system. Peter, could you tell us what all are the contents of the IDIPLOYER MP2.1 automation starter kit that you're offering our attendees today?
Yeah, so as I sort of mentioned throughout this sort of webinar, that we want to make this simple for clients to integrate into their business. And that's why we've come up with this starter kit. So it's the docking station. So what you've seen today and what we've shown you live, it includes a 3-month subscription to Flight Now Auto, 3 months iDrone Images remote support with us, and 1-year warranty. And most of all, we include the DJI Mavic 2 Pro with the system. So our package, our price includes the complete solution for you to go away and then start to integrate the system. Really very simple for you.
This would be a great package for anyone who would just want to get started with the autonomous operations, especially with the inclusion of the brand new DJI Mavic 2 series drone along with this whole package. So Peter, would you like to go ahead and disclose the pricing, or wait, do you want our audience to give it a quick guess?
Yeah, let's have a quick guess, see what they think first. Surprise me.
Yes, let me quickly pull up the quiz, and here it's up on everyone's screen. How much do you think the IDIPLOYER costs? We have a varied audience today who have very different opinions. So let's just wait on for a couple of seconds again before we close the poll. I would just quickly share the results. Yes, so Peter, most of the audience feel that the box is going to be less than £5,000. But I think a significant number of people think it is over £15,000 as well. So why don't you just let everyone know?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so the what I've just described, so the docking station, the 3 months flight now subscription with the drone, and the 3 months remote support from us and the 1 year warranty, we're retailing that at £79999, so just short of £8,000, which is a fantastic price in comparison to the industry. A lot of boxes out there don't include the UAV. So we're including that into our package to make sure you've got the full solution. So yeah, most people are on that ballpark.
That is definitely path-breaking, Peter. But I know from the video message that you shared on all social media platforms just before the launch event, you mentioned that the system would be highly affordable for our fellow attendees. Do you have anything more to reveal? Yeah,
so the introduction price we're giving our product, we're going to take £1,000 off that. So 6,999 is our introductory price that we are going to be sending out to the market, and that's going out on social media, and that's what we're going to be advertising the box for. It's a really great price, and throughout this process we want to make it affordable, and we feel we've achieved that.
Just £7,000, and I'm just going to repeat it once again. And this includes the DJI Mavic 2 and everything else: the software, the hardware, the support, the warranty. And this is unbelievable, Peter. With this level of affordability, you're basically giving enterprises and drone solution providers the freedom to implement a technology without having to spend a fortune. So I've constantly, but again, as you must be aware, I've constantly promoted an early bird discount for our attendees today. What is the best that you could offer?
Always driving a hard bargain, Vasali. Always. We want to get this system out there, and we want you to be able to integrate this at an affordable cost. And we want to give you no reason to walk away today without buying one. Because we know how important it is for the industry to get automation out there and to help you integrate the systems. So yeah, we can do a bit more.
I was just expecting a £1,000 discount, Peter. But then seriously, this is almost half the price of.
No, it is half price, Vasali. It is half price. We've gone right down to half price. And what we didn't want to do is come on here and say, look, we're all half price. Look at our great price. It's not about that. We want to get these systems out there, and we want you to test them. And we know that you're going to know and love them. And when you do, you'll talk about it. And then, we want eventually the standard price to be $3,999. We want it to be available to everybody at an affordable price. So, this is your opportunity to order a great price. And I think it's, there's nothing out there that's going to match it.
Thank you for correcting me, Peter. I couldn't believe it. Yes, it is. You are right. This is indeed half the price. And this is a great deal for our audience today. Thank you so much again. I think audience, now you will have no excuse to miss out on this offer. Don't make my effort go to waste. Place your orders now before the first 10 units run out. Peter mentioned that this early bird price is only going to be available for the first 10 units. So you would not want to miss this opportunity. And just in case you're wondering how to place the order, you can just quickly, we are sharing a link on the chat box, or you could use this QR code and scan this on any of your mobile device and get direct access to the page from which you can place the order. Even if you are not able to do so, if you're not able to scan the QR code, we are also sending you an email. An email is right on the way. You could use the link that's in the email and procure your first the launch edition of the IDIPLOYER MP2.1, the automation starter kit.
Yeah, there is only 10 available, Pasali. That's the key thing, at that price. So once they're gone, they're gone. And we'd anticipate them going very quickly.
Yes.
So yes.
We do that too. Thank you once again, Peter, for making this offer. I'm now going to shoot a question that most people in the audience would likely have in mind. Would this low cost affect the quality of the system?
No, not at all. This isn't, like I said earlier, this isn't about quality, compromising on quality when we've reduced the cost to make it affordable. We've spent the last few months negotiating the prices down from our suppliers so we can produce this system at this price and at this launch price. So we've worked very hard to get it to this price. We haven't compromised on quality, and you'll see that when you receive the box.
Yes, thank you again, Peter. What about the lead time? When can buyers get their hands onto the box?
Yeah, so the first 10 boxes, if they're ordered over before Monday, we've got 21 days lead time before we begin shipping. So their shippings will begin on a first come first served basis. So once you order, we'll then contact you to fully understand the bespoke adjustments you want to make to the box or different requests you have. We'll then start shipping out the systems. But if you do have any sort of real concerns around, I don't need the drone, or I don't necessarily need the lights on top, just order the system at this price, and then we can talk about them adjustments after.
Thank you again, Peter. I think this is incredible. This is less than a month's time, and over all the customer interactions that we've had in the past, and even the poll that we recently saw, lead time was one of the concerns that most of our attendees today had, and you definitely addressed that right away. So there was one other question that we initially missed is you mentioned that the package includes the DJI Mavic 2. So why have you included that in the package? We have from our audience, a lot of them are drone service providers who would already have a DJI Mavic 2 drone with them. So why was the drone required?
Yeah, so we've, like I said in the beginning, to keep the process as simple as we can and the integration as simple as we can, we've had to do some modifications to the drone's feet in terms of just slight attachments and wiring up to the battery contact so we can make the charge process happen. And then we've got the modification to the battery switch so we can turn the system on and off. And also to enable the remote control to be fully integrated and to be able to remotely switch the remote on and off, we need to do that same modification to the remote switch. So it just simplifies the process if we just do that here and send you the box with the drone. But we're keeping the price down so that doesn't have to be a huge impact for you. But coming up over the next few months, we're working on a swap out solution. So if you already have a Mavic 2, then we're looking at how can we swap that system with you. So there's lots of options available. So don't let that be a barrier to making the purchase of the system.
Thank you, Peter, for addressing that. Now it's time to move on to the exciting additional perks that we are offering with this or along with this launch event. And I'll quickly move on to the following slide where Achal would explain the benefits of the Flight Now Partner Program. And we are offering this to every user who is going to purchase the box, especially the first 10 units, the early bird price. And let Achal speak to you while I prepare something or the surprise that I have for you.
Thanks, Bashari. Thanks a lot. I can't contain myself. I'm looking at the chat and everybody is looking to get these boxes and place an order. And yes, the link would be there. You'll get the email where you can quickly start ordering. Link is already pasted on the chat and our Slack channel. So you can go and book one of your boxes or all of them. So the additional perks here we talk about is the complete partner program of Flight Now, which lets you be from zero to hero, where it can help you completely deploy these automated docking station, as well as help you with the complete go-to-market strategy. So where we come here is we work with the drone companies who have been already providing drone services. Either these are drone service providers, solution providers, sensitive integrators, or internal drone teams who are looking to deploy these systems for end users. So we partner with them. And of course, once they purchase this, they are already into this program where they get special discounts on our subscriptions, where they get licenses for demos, they get remote training so they can understand the software, provide support to customer. They themselves get priority support and documentation. So they work really close with our technical support team and engineers. And then we do joint go-to-market with them. So joint go-to-market here might just look like a statement, but it has a lot to offer, where we start with the complete strategy of how we can help you scale the business. How can we help you sell more, as well as help you with the complete technical modules which are required for your applications. So be it for security, construction, mining, your workflows could be different, and you have that say in the product where you can closely work with our product team as well. And of course, once you're ready, we are happy to do a launch event as well with you, where you can promote your business and get that traction. And of course, as we get started, our team works closely with you, where you get access to all the FlightNow sales and marketing material and a complete kit. So you can go and do these demos for the end users and sell more and more units. Yeah, that's it from the FlightNow partner benefits. Feel free to reach out to me, or if you have any questions, you can put your questions in the chat and I'll be happy to take that at the end of the session.
Thank you, Achal. We will now move on to the magic wall of wealth. So Pragya, if you could quickly stop sharing the screen, I will present my screen. Is this visible to all of you? So we are offering again a giveaway of 1 year subscription of FlightNow Auto to 3 lucky winners. This definitely includes the subscription of FlightNow Remote as well. I have on my screen a wall of your names, and we'll just give it a kick, and it'll push out a name of our lucky winners for today. So are you ready? Congratulations. I will again roll the same thing once again. So I will give a quick again. Great. Congratulations, Sakun. It's the third time, and I guess the third time's the lucky time. And let's see who is our winner for tonight. Congratulations, Nico. So just if you are here in the audience right now and if you can listen to us, just drop in your email ID on the chat box and we will contact you shortly and share the happiness with you, provide a full 1 year subscription of FlightNow Auto. I'll just pause my screen right now, and Pragna, you can again take it from here. Yes, so I would now like to introduce Matt, who has been a firm believer in autonomous drone technology and, of course, in Peter and his team's efforts. So Matt has been a leading light within the international aviation community with deep-seated roots within the unmanned training and operational delivery sectors. He has built a number of successful businesses centered around the ever-evolving unmanned aircraft space. Prior to embarking upon his business journey, Matt was a military helicopter pilot and instructor. Let's hear a quick message from Matt.
I first met Peter just over 4 years ago when he gained his initial drone qualifications with our training school. And it's funny because even though we teach thousands of students every year, there's always the odd one who stands out from the crowd. You just know that they're different. It's how they prepare themselves for the journey, it's how they present themselves, and most interestingly, the questions that they ask along the way. From the start, Peter was one of those, where the majority of people we see come into the drone industry start with an idea that they're going to just complete the bare minimum of training, get qualified, buy a drone and start a business. Peter continually sought advice and guidance, attending seminars and events which we held all across the country and investing in himself at every possible turn, enrolling on additional training and development courses in his pursuit of becoming more than just another drone operator. It's people like this who we need to help us move the industry forward, not just in the UK, but globally, creating solutions using this amazing technology that we now have at our fingertips and is quickly becoming part of our everyday lives. Automation within the drone space is without a doubt going to be the next big advancement. It's where we'll see the technology start to reach large organisations, complementing their current processes, improving profitability and ultimately reducing risk, with huge benefits in terms of efficiency increases and cost savings. Being able to fly autonomous missions using proven, reliable and cost-effective solutions is what we need to encourage more buy-in from key stakeholders and keep the drone industry moving forwards. And this is exactly what Peter and his team have managed to achieve with the IDIPLOYER. I can't wait to see it in action and see what applications the system gets deployed into as the unit and its capability are put into action around the globe.
If you're there in the audience today, Matt, thank you so much for the lovely message and for encouraging Peter and on all the efforts that we've been pulling through. And congratulations, Peter, again, for bringing this amazing product to our customers and partners who have been waiting for something like this for a very long time. I will now open the floor for the audience and the Q&A. We have a lot of questions. I will quickly start with a few, Peter. So with regards to the hardware, I'll take them up first so that people are aware of everything that goes in the IDIPLOYER. So the first question is around, do you need to fly with the prop guards? Is it compulsory?
It's not compulsory. It aids the positioning of the drone for precision landing. So if it deviates slightly off, like I said, if there's the off chance it does that, it then nudges it back into position. It's not a must, but we do recommend it. And all the testing we did, there wasn't significant amounts of resistance to the wind with the prop guards. They are very lightweight and very capable. So yeah, I guess it's a choice, but we prefer that you use them for safety.
All right. And there are a lot of questions around if in case people would want to use the custom drones, which you mentioned that they can. What are the dimensions of the drone or that the Nest can handle? Yeah, so I guess that question is probably directed towards the Mavic 2 Dual. So can it have the speakers and the lights on the top? And yes, there's enough height there that's capable of receiving that Mavic 2 Dual. It's in our store to sell the Mavic 2 Dual. So the height is about 27 centimeters from the drawer to the top. So once we start integrating different drones, then we can just adapt the height and the width of the box to suit them dimensions. Thanks again, Peter. There's a question around the charging time for a Mavic 2 Pro, like right from empty, what is the typical charging time? Yeah, so the typical charging time is 45 to 50 minutes. And it really depends on the heat of the drone as well. So that's why we've introduced some of the cooling methods of the box to help the drone cool as it's charging. Because the method we use, it does switch the battery's management board on. So the drone sort of powers up and generates heat. So you're talking between 45 to an hour for the full 100% charge. All right, so this is mostly a question for DoD customers. Aside from the Mavic 2 being included in the product package, are there any other foreign parts associated with the IDIPLOYER? And with regards to the software side, are the servers for the product located in the United States? So maybe Peter, you can start with it, and then Achal can take over for the software. Peter, you seem to be on mute if you're speaking.
Sorry, yeah, say that again, Vasali. Apologies, I missed that question.
Yes, so the question is that are there, apart from the Mavic 2 drone, are there any other foreign parts or associated in the iDeployer?
No, these are all UK parts that we source from UK suppliers. So it's UK supply and built. Yes, the DJI is the only foreign part that we have.
All right.
Right. And just to add to that, I saw that question that for the DoD customers, how could this be used? So we understand that you'd like to use some other drone, and that is where we are also integrating drones like Parrot and Nafi, Autel, and other drones which are coming into the market, which can fit that size. So you can deploy off-the-shelf drones for DoD customers as well. So feel free to reach out to us and Peter, and we'd be happy to help you.
One common question that we missed out, Achal, in considering is what would happen once the 3 months Flight Now subscription is over? And if you would like to shed some light on that.
Sure. So Flight Now subscriptions retails at $399, so $400 per month, which allows you to do unlimited flights. And for partners, that is available at $300 right now. So after that gets over, you can get the monthly subscription or get an annual subscription just starting at $3,000 per year.
Thank you, Achal. We have a question for you, Peter. What is the minimum temperature that the box can operate? Would you like to share some insights on that?
Yeah, so without the cooling, so it's the standard drones operating temperatures, which are available on the website. Once we get to the heating and cooling in, then we can go down to the -10s, 20s, and then up to the high temperatures. But yeah, then the temperature settings versus our cooling systems are all displayed when you add that to basket. But yes, it's very capable of operating within the drone's operating temperatures, if that makes sense.
Yes. Thank you again, Peter. Sorry, I was a little distracted. I just noticed that we have a couple of orders that have come in already. And congratulations, Peter. I think we are losing on the boxes, and it's getting sold as we speak. Yeah. I have a few more questions for you. What kind of internet connectivity is included in the starter box? Does it have an LTE modem or Ethernet port? If you could answer that.
Yeah, so there's the LTE 4G board and Ethernet board is all in the system already. You just have your choice of service supplier for them for that internet. But yeah, it's ready to plug and play if you like.
Thanks again. We have a lot of questions. I think you can talk about the delivery time once again. We do have a couple of them in the Q&A section, so maybe you would like to restate that.
Yeah, so for the first 10 boxes that are ordered, we're looking at shipping from the 21st. So it's really quick turnaround time. But as we get each order, we'll contact you and discuss shipping and where it's shipping to. Obviously, depends on that time frame. But we want to get these built and sent to you as quickly as possible once we've passed all of our sort of quality checks and safety flight checks that we do prior to sending them out to you.
All right. We have one other question is, are the Mavic drones modified for charging, or do they come with the contact charging on their arms?
No, we modify the feet of the drone. They're not permanent modifications, they're temporary. Like same with the leg extenders on the Mavic 2 Pro, where they just slide on. We've got similar, but we add a bolt in there to make it secure. But then none of the modifications we do are permanent to the drone.
Thank you once again, Peter. We are actually running out of time. So let me see if I can pick a few questions. Do you want to talk about the support, the maintenance, what is included, like what is the most recurring support that's going to be required for the workstation?
Yeah, so in terms of the general maintenance of the box, it's very, very low maintenance. But what the contract we offer, varies client to client depending on your needs. We've got remote support, so if you have a problem, we can remote into the box and understand what's going wrong. But as a longer term, we have different contracts available for swapping out systems, updating your system. If we have a new design or new feature, we'll first come to you to offer that support. But the contracts vary from client to client, so very bespoke to each client, really. And we're open to different partnerships and different contracts, with each client. So yeah, just reach out to us once you place the order. We'll tie everything up in terms of contracts and maintenance of the systems.
Thank you so much, Peter. I think we are already up on time and we are running quite late. So I would like to conclude today's launch event and this the whole 1 hour of journey that we saw. And so this is it. We at Flightbase are definitely humbled to be one of the industry's first to bring to our users two of the most exciting drone-in-a-box systems in the market today. Each system is very well engineered for performance, reliability, and durability, and is set to challenge the conventional notion of DIB systems that are used to being super expensive, bulky, overly complex, and with very long lead times. So don't wait any further. We need your love and support to continue on this journey. Place your orders before we run out of stock. I would now like to ask Achal and Nitin to share their closing thoughts. But then again, before that, I would take a moment to wish Achal a very happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Ash.
Happy birthday, Achal.
Thank you, Bashari. Thank you.
So Nitin, moving on to you.
Thanks, Baishali. So we started working with Peter and his team almost a year ago. And since then, we have closely worked with them on taking the system through so many iterations to ensure that the product is ready for our customers and partners. Now, Peter's focus on simplicity, reliability, and building an affordable product with no compromise on quality makes us believe that this drone nest will serve as a much needed catalyst for the mass adoption of drone-in-a-box systems. It will enable a number of use cases that were unviable just a few weeks ago. We are super excited and proud to be working with Peter and his team, and we look forward to helping our customers and partners deploy this system in the near future. As always, we are eager to listen to our customers and partners, how best we can help you with your automated deployments. So please stay in touch and continue to send across your valuable feedback. Thank you so much for working with us and for your continued support. Have a great day.
Achal, over to you. Do you have any closing thoughts for us?
Great. Thank you, Bashari. Yes. So I still remember the day when I first spoke to Peter, right? You were there on the call and we spoke about this and what Peter is building. And it was really great to see all this in action today. And now it's open for the world where other businesses can quickly adopt that. So I'd like to first thank everyone who joined this event, and then special thanks to Peter and his team who have been closely working with us to create this automated drone-in-a-box solution. And at a price that helps scale drone businesses and operations for a lot of businesses, right? We could see the chat where people are looking to order the complete stock. So we are happy to closely work with you, all our partners and end customers, and help you deploy the IDIPLOYER systems for various use cases. Feel free to reach out to us if you have any further questions. I saw there were very few questions that we could answer over there. Feel free to reach out to us. We'll be happy to tell you more about software, the partner program, how could we help you. And yes, our coordinates are already there with you. You can go to flightnow.com or idroneimages.com and just put a message and we'd be happy to speak with you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Achal. Peter, do you have anything to share?
Yeah, I mean, we're overwhelmed by the support and the number of people who's on the webinar today, and so far the orders that have been placed is absolutely fantastic. Few niggling problems with the shipping on the website's now fixed. So if you try to order and couldn't get back on there and order it because they're going to sell out quickly. So thank you so much. Look forward to working with everybody.
Thank you so much, Peter. We would like now end this launch event. Thank you everyone for attending. You have a wonderful day out there.